In this video, I'm going to give you 2 ways you can make passive income with very little effort on eToro. eToro is one of the most established brokers here in Europe and is slowly making its way over to the US. As an avid eToro user myself for way over 5 years now, I'm a big fanboy of this broker, and more on that later. I'm also going to share with you some of my favorite features on the platform and give you some generic tips on how you can get set up, because it's very easy to do. Now, if you do appreciate this input, please do tickle that like button until it turns blue. And if you want to sign up with eToro, sign up via the link on the pinned comment, deposit, make a trade, and you get lifetime access to our eToro Discord, where I'm there daily, and other investors too. So if you want to join a community of like-minded investors, then make sure you sign up via the link on the pinned comment. But to be clear, they did not pay me directly for this video. This is my own personal opinion. So let's talk about some of the key features eToro has to offer. Myself, I have a finance background, and I remember way back when opening a brokerage account could take days, if not weeks, to open. Right now, using apps like eToro, Robinhood, Webull, it's very easy. You download an app, you start the process, you deposit, and you're pretty much set up in a couple of minutes to make your first trade. eToro is a very similar process. It's very quick and it's very easy to use from that front. Trust me, if my mother can use it and she struggles to log into Facebook, then if you're watching this video, you shouldn't have any problems. But once you have signed up and deposited and you're ready to make a trade, you'll see something like what I'm showing you right now on my desktop. This is basically the watch list page that you sort of land on when you open the app itself. But this isn't what we're going to talk about today. If you want to go and check out more videos on how to use their watch lists and some of the generic features, there's a playlist up there. But we're not really interested in that, because this video is about passive income, where a person can invest, do literally nothing, and watch their money hopefully grow over time. There's 2 real ways to do that on eToro, excluding dividend investing. But let's go over and click the Discover button. The first thing you have really is you have something called Copy Trader. It sort of hits you in the face, and this is eToro's flagship. It's what they're known for here in Europe, where you can go and click on a person's profile and you can actually copy their trades directly. What this means is when they make a trade, you make a trade. Now, you don't have to allocate your full portfolio. You can allocate, say, 10% to them. If I click copy, for example, I can allocate maybe $200 to this person, and then I can click copy. Now, if I click copy open trades, what that means is I'm going to go and buy the trades that they're currently in. So if they bought Apple and they're up 20%, bear in mind I'm buying Apple at a 20% premium to them. So if they sold Apple at another 2% gain, I'm only making 2%, they're making 22%, if that makes sense. But on the other hand, Apple could have also fell, they could be red on the trade, and I'm buying that at a much needed discount. So long story short, you're basically buying that person as an ETF. Whatever happens inside their portfolio happens to the money you allocate to them. If you untick copy open trades, what happens there is you allocate the money to them, but it takes a long time because they need to make trades and allocate their portfolio. So it takes a long time for you to sort of step up, because they need to fully recycle their portfolio for you to be 100% allocated. In my personal opinion, if you like somebody enough and you've done enough research on them, you're probably better off ticking copy open trades. But looking at Eddie over here, we can see some key features. We can see his sort of, little intro, if you want to call it that, and some of his features. But the big thing is the wall. Now, this is very much like a mixture of what Facebook would be or some other social platform, or Meta, or who knows what it's going to be called in the future. But it's going to be very much like that setup, where you can see 16 days ago he wrote this, and then you can see basically if he lines up with your viewpoint. For example, I think EVs are overhyped, so if this dude was mentioning EVs, I probably wouldn't copy him. The big thing though, you can click the person's stats. Now you can go here and you can see how long this person has been using eToro, and you can see his previous performance. And let's be honest, it's pretty damn good. You can also see how many people are copying him, how quickly his portfolio is growing over 7 days, how much money he has copying him, and also his profitability and other basic statistics. If you want to go one step further, you can see this person's portfolio in depth, and we can see his biggest holdings here. If we click value, this is probably the most important aspect here. We can see that the biggest holdings he has is gold. I agree with that. CRM, Google, Facebook, and the list goes on. Microsoft. So he's in sort of the tech sector, I can see, tech heavy, but he's also got a decent allocation to gold. And if we want to see what his chart would look like, well, this is the key feature in my opinion, because if we go back from, say, 1 year ago, exactly 12 months, we can see that if we invested 10,000 US dollars back on that date, it would now be worth 13,000, which would be a 30% increase. It says there at the bottom, performance is based on a 10,000 copy simulated results with a stop loss of 60%. So you can see there that that's basically how your money would have played out. Now remember here, this is very important. Past performance is not an indication of future results. We're in a market right now where pretty much anybody can make money because the markets, well, stonks only go up, don't they? Just remember that and be careful when you pick the person you're copying. But if we go back as well and we look at the copy portfolio people, it's in Discover, click View All, we can then sort of filter out. So we can have somebody who sort of invests in crypto as an example, and they've gained at least 10% in the last 12 months, who is based in, let's go UK, if we can find it, the United Kingdom. So I want a British guy who trades in crypto and gained at least 10%, and we can filter that and we can see everybody's performance there as well. So we can then go and do our research and see how they're doing in performance terms to the market. So copy portfolio is a good feature. If you haven't got time to do research, you can do research into one person, sort of trust them to do their own thing. Now, I do have one of my profiles public. You can copy it yourself. That's on the Coffee to 100K challenge. If you want to know what it is, check that video out up there. But it's not necessarily for a get rich quick scheme. We're going to be adding 180 US dollars every single month. It's more to encourage people to long-term invest and of course regular save that $180 a month. So if that floats your boat, check out that video up there. But that is the copy trading portfolio, and it's very, very popular on eToro. I've tried it out in the past myself. The downside is I'm not really a trusting person as a rule of thumb. So for me, I tend to do things myself because I sort of think I know what I'm doing. But if you don't have the time, it's good to go and find somebody, do research. All you got to do is follow the person. So for example, if I click this little ad here, he's now added to a watch list. Well, he's not because I don't have enough space. But then basically every time he posts, I get a little notification. I can go and see his updates on his portfolio. So the second way of getting passive income is very similar to copy portfolio, but I think it's a lot lower risk. And this is sort of the trading portfolios or the investing portfolios or the smart portfolios as they keep calling it. And basically if you go down here, you'll see smart portfolios. We're going to click view all. And you can see here, these are sort of pre-approved by eToro and its compliance team. So if you wanted, for example, this is where it gets interesting. If you wanted sort of a crypto market portfolio, you can click on this, and this is basically, in essence, a diversified portfolio in cryptocurrency that might suit your requirements. It's a little bit more structured and looks a little bit more like an ETF than an individual investor. Now, the reason why I think this is lower risk is because you are going off several people rather than just one person. eToro clearly has a team behind these, and you have a lot of people making the decision. So in my eyes, this might be a little bit better for you. But the downside of this is that you need to sort of have a specific sector that you're looking to invest in. So for example, if you were into driverless technology, you can see here there's a driverless EVs and autonomous sort of copy portfolio. They keep changing the name of these, I'm sure they do. And you can go and check this out. So here you'll see that the strategy, you'll see also the portfolio of the stocks that they're in, and it's more focused obviously on driverless technology. If you want to go on one that's in drones, we've got that there. We've got cybersecurity, we've renewables. So I think that if you've got a specific sector or several sectors you're looking at, this might be a safer option than following one individual person. So then you could allocate sort of 10% to driverless, 10% to renewable. It's up to you. But you could also do a mix of the both. I mean, that's up to you. It's your money at the end of the day. But these are sort of two ways you can generate passive income without having to do anything, because somebody else is going to manage it for you. And the best thing, doesn't cost you anything. That's the best thing. eToro is a free platform. The only difference is sometimes when you buy a stock, there'll be a little bit of a spread. That's how they make their money. So you can expect some fees, but there's no like trailing fee, for example, where you're going to get charged, I don't know, like $10 in and out. That doesn't happen. Now, some top tips here to sort of secure yourself a little bit more with these two ways of making passive income on eToro would be compare the portfolios you're looking at with the market over a time period. So for example, if you're looking at a person and a copy portfolio, even if it's me, for example, get their chart over the last 12 months or last 2 years, however long you can get, and put it over the S&P 500 or the SPY, which is basically an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So you can see if that person is outperforming the SPY, because if they're not beating the market, and you would be probably better off just buying the market. Of course, there is exceptions where people are buying things like maybe that are value, like China right now. But again, it's something worth noting. It's a good way of sort of safety netting yourself to make sure that you don't miss out. Because literally 1 or 2% extra a year goes a hell of a long way when you're old and gray. Now, the one way of passive income on eToro I didn't talk about is dividend investing. Of course, eToro do pay dividends from certain stocks. So if that company pays you a dividend, that dividend will be allocated in a cash form into your account. But that goes on to you if you do buy into a dividend paying stock. There's many videos on that, so I didn't really want to cover it too much in this video. If you do want to sign up with eToro, don't forget on the pinned comment gives you lifetime access to our chat room. Just be careful whenever you're picking somebody to invest in or follow in. Majority of retail investors do indeed lose money, so be very careful and very selective before you trust your money with anybody or any company. That's it for me, and if you could drop the code word down below, which is eToro, in the comments, it would do me a great favor with the YouTube algorithm. Be safe, check out that video up there for more eToro tips. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, God bless, peace.